DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I wasn't even going to do these, but we're going to make them quick, hopefully. Second round previews. Well, we only know two series that's happening right now. They're both in the Eastern Conference. You know, the Sixers are playing Toronto, and the Milwaukee Bucks are playing against the Boston Celtics. So we'll either make this one video or two videos. Let's see. First, let's talk about my hometown Sixers against the Toronto Raptors. Both teams lost the first game of the series. People are like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And then end up not being interesting as the Sixers kicked the shit out of Brooklyn. And Brooklyn was bitching to the refs and shit after they was getting beat on. And Toronto kicked the shit out of Orlando after that one game when Orlando's guards had career days. But anyway, let's talk about the winning teams. I think there's going to be a really good matchup, first of all, because Joel Embiid is not going to be able to just bully ball Marc Gasol the way that he was bully ball against Jared Allen. Secondly, Kawhi Leonard is, I don't know, whoever he guards, he tends to be pretty good defensively, or he just completely shuts people down. And you're talking about Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons. The Raptors do need to figure out, I mean, they're probably going to put Danny Green on J.J. Redick. And J.J. Redick creates a lot of movement. He forces defenses to do something because he moves around so much and he comes off screens, and he's got a great two-man game with Joel and a two-man game with Ben Simmons. So hopefully the Sixers run some more pick and roll. Kyle Lowry, a great defensive player. If he don't put up great stats offensively, he always puts up great stats defensively, and he always has a very positive plus minus score for those of you who are into advanced statistics, if you want to call that an advanced statistic. I think this is going to be a very interesting series because both of these teams, actually all four of these teams in the Eastern Conference, are supposed to be contending this year. I think all four of these teams would consider it a failure to not at least make the conference finals. The Raptors definitely. The Sixers, with all they put in with their trades, Milwaukee being the number one seed, and Giannis an MVP candidate, whether he wins or comes in second, he's up there in Boston. Last year, they were right there without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, so now they got those guys. It would definitely be a disappointment for them if they don't make it. So all four of these teams need to win these upcoming series. So I'm going to go, first of all, with the Sixers-Raptors series. I say this series goes, I want the Sixers to win, but do I think they're going to win? Those two different questions. I think the Sixers have more talent top to bottom, but the Raptors' defense is really fucking good. But Sixers got some shot makers in Joel. Joel just turns the ball over so damn much, it makes me nervous. Tobias can put the ball in the basket. JJ can. Of course, Jimmy Butler is going to want the ball. I'm going to say the Sixers are going to win this series. If they do great, I think they can win it in 6. But I don't have a problem with the series going 7. The Sixers going on the road to Toronto and winning Game 7 on the road to send themselves to the Eastern Conference Finals. This is going to be a tough series. It's going to be a very good series. Tough series for both teams, but I say the Sixers win it in 7. I'm going to say 7. Let's go Eastern Conference, sir. We still got time. Giannis, we already know his story. We already know how dominant they were against a hobbled Detroit team who then had their best player in Blake Griffin in the first round, so they swept them like they should have. Boston played Indiana. Indiana blew a game in that series, but the Celtics swept them as the more talented team they should have. Without Oladipo, the Celtics should have swept them, and they did, even though Indiana handed them one of those games. This is going to be an interesting series, too, simply because the Bucks are not going to have Brogdon for the first 2 games. I heard that on social media, either, this morning or last night. That was announced. But Giannis is the best player in the series. Celtics can throw some bodies at him. They got the Morris twin. They got Al Horford. You got Hayward, I guess, could take a shot. Baines can try a little bit. And Giannis was pretty good against them last year. But last year, I was watching the series, and I'm like, what the hell are the Bucks doing? They were running plays where Giannis wasn't even touching the ball. He wasn't even involved in the offense. So now with this new coach, Budenholzer, everything's revolving around Giannis. They put the shooters around him. Bledsoe is having a much better series. I know people are going to talk about the Bledsoe-Terry Rozier thing, but Terry Rozier is an afterthought now because Kyrie's back and Terry Rozier is on the bench where, I mean, that's pretty much where he should be if Kyrie Irving is on the team. He's got to come off the bench. So he ain't going to get as much of a crack at Bledsoe as he probably would want to after last year. This year, he's, again, back to a bench guy. So it's going to be Bledsoe against Kyrie, and we know what Kyrie can do. Gordon Hayward is looking like Gordon Hayward again, finally. It took him damn near 2 years to do it. but he's looking like Gordon Hayward again. I think the Bucks will miss Brogdon in these first 2 games. I think they want him to come back as quickly as possible because they do need this guy who can make plays. Malcolm Brogdon's a pretty good player, perfect for the team that they have him on the role that he's in. I got to go with Giannis as the best player in the series. Therefore, the Bucks winning this series. I say the Bucks can win this one in 6. I don't think this is a 7-game series. I think it can go 7 if Milwaukee goes cold from the outside and or they come across some magic formula to stop Giannis, which I don't think exists for any team in the NBA. So I don't think that formula exists. So there isn't one. Or if they just happen to go cold and they really miss Malcolm Brogdon, this could go 7. But I think the Bucks will win this series in 6, which means they will win it on the road in Boston to close it out. For Boston, I think the key is who's going to guard Giannis. They got to figure out something. Can Al Horford do it? I don't think Al Horford can slow Giannis down for a whole series. I think he's going to try, and I think he'll have some moments, but I don't think he can slow him down. Aaron Baines, I think Giannis has figured out how to score on people like him. The Morris twin is too small and not athletic enough. Gordon Hayward, same thing, too small, not athletic enough. He's athletic, but he's not athletic enough for a guy like Giannis. As long as Chris Middleton comes out and he's an assassin, he always plays well against Boston. So I think he'll do his thing. He'll do well against them. Eric Bledsoe, as long as he doesn't have his head up his ass like he did last year, because he was terrible in last year's series, especially once he got into it with Terry Rozier. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. And that's it. I'm going to say the Bucks win in 6. I'm going with the Sixers to win. Hopefully 6, but I'm going to have to say 7. My head says 7, my heart says 6, but my head says it's going to go 7. So we're going to have the Milwaukee Bucks against the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's going to be a hell of a, that'll be a very fun series if that's what ends up happening. With that Toronto series again, what's Kawhi going to do defensively? The Raptors are such a tough team defensively. So they got Danny Green, Kawhi, Kyle Lowry, Gasol, all great defenders. I didn't even talk about Pascal Siakam. Their 5 against the Sixers 5 is just going to be a great matchup. Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi, Siakam, and Gasol against, we got Ben, JJ, Tobias, Jimmy Butler, and Joel Embiid. That's just a hell of a 5-on-5 match. That'd be a good pickup game with no substitutions. And then the subs come in. I think the Raptors bench is a little bit better. You got Van Vliet, and you have Serge. Maybe we'll see some OG Anunoby. Is it Og or OG? I don't even know. But we're going to see some of him, of course. That's their 8-man rotation right there. And the Sixers, I don't know who they're going to bring in for the rotation, especially when the Raptors go small, when they put somebody like Serge in and don't have anybody bigger than him in the game, and Siakam, who both can put the ball on the floor and they can both shoot. Sixers can't put Bobby in the game. I think you're going to have to see a lot of Mike Scott. Who else we got? TJ McConnell, maybe. Who else we got at the guard spot? Maybe Jonathan Simmons, but he can't really hit the outside shot. James Ennis, who's kind of shaky. I mean, he plays hard and he's athletic, but he's shaky. And Sixers bench I don't like. I haven't liked their bench all season. So that's what really troubles me, especially if Joel gets tired, which he seems to do every big game. This dude seems to get tired. So I don't know what the hell he's doing in the offseason, but he needs to work out with Giannis in the offseason. He can get in shape, real shape. But anyway, as long as the Sixers starting 5 is good and those starters are ready and willing to pay 40 to 45 minutes a game, Sixers will be good and they can win this series. But if it gets into the benches, the Raptors got the advantage. And over on the Bucks side, I think the Bucks are just the better team. As long as Giannis is healthy and everybody is doing what they've been doing during the regular season, I don't think the Celtics had the firepower to beat them. But these are both going to be very good series. So I'm glad that we got what we got in the East. As much as people talk shit about the East not being as good as the West, these are going to be 2 damn good series. So y'all tell me what y'all think about these 2. Who's going to win each one, how many games, and your reasonings for why. So I'm going to put this out. I'm recording this on Friday. I'm going to put it out Saturday because the series starts on Saturday. And that's that. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.